Mars enters Capricorn, its sign of exaltation, at 7:53 a.m. Eastern on January 24th. And here, the planet of action, drive, and ambition will stay until March 6th. I'm here to break it down for each rising sign and to talk about what it means for us in general. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer. I focus on natal, predictive, relationship astrology, and I'm very active on Instagram. You can check out the links down below. And if you're interested in booking a reading with me, there's a link for that as well. Please subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, a like. Any communication I have with you guys is always appreciated. And let's talk about Mars. So Mars is the planet of action, drive. It's the planet of desire. It's very ego-driven, more than the sun. Sometimes people say that, like Leos are very ego-driven because they're ruled by the sun, but Leos can be very, very generous. And of course, every sign doesn't just embody the nature of that planet. There's more to it than just that. Mars, when it comes to being kind of different from the sun, Mars is a lot more about self-assertive action. It even has the glyph for Mars has the arrow pointing towards, the next goal. So whenever Mars is in a sign other than the sign that it rules, which is Aries and Scorpio, Mars has to behave according to the rules of that sign and the rules of that sign's lord or the ruler. So Capricorn is the sign ruled by Saturn, the planet of hard work, limitations, duties, responsibilities, last frontiers. So Capricorns definitely have a strong understanding of the rules and structures, and part of the reason why they do is they work hard, but they also want to know the rules to party hard, right? So they can break the rules or go outside the rules with the awareness without really, ruining their reputation too much. So Mars in Capricorn is exalted, and what exaltation means is that the planet has different level of comfort in every sign. Like I said, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, and in Capricorn it's considered exalted, and you may think of it as rulership is like the king in its castle. It's like you or me in our apartment. We rule our apartment, right? It's your territory. You can do whatever you want to do, but then you also have to pay the rent, and you have to buy groceries, and you have to take out the trash. Exaltation is like an honored guest. Someone who comes and visits you for a few days. You may even treat them with extra care. You're not going to tell them go take out the trash. I mean, you might, but in general, you treat them slightly better. So planets that are exalted, like Mars is in Capricorn, there's a bit of an impediment to them. There's a bit of limitation. So Mars in Capricorn has to operate in those Saturnian boundaries and Saturnian guidelines, but in a way that impediment makes it stronger. So, if you take Mars and Aries, sometimes people can be too ego-driven, too impulsive, too kind of flamboyant or bright. They kind of get fired up really quickly. When you put Mars in Capricorn, the sign ruled of Saturn, they can be slower to start, but then more persistent once they get going. So in a way, right, it's a bit blocked a little bit, but it makes the planet perform better. Mars in Capricorn, we can expect whatever portion of the chart is Capricorn in your chart, we can expect to be more conservative in that area. We kind of have tradition in mind, and we look back and we, pay attention to what people used to do before us. We kind of care about the rules and the structure and the system. I know a few people with Mars in Capricorn, and they're the best at finding deals. Mars in Capricorn will not really enjoy breaking the rules. They will try to operate within this system, but they will know all the secret passages and roadways and all of that kind of stuff. So if you have any Mars and Capricorn people in your life and you need to find a flight deal or buy the best apartment, find yourself a Mars and Capricorn person. They're very strategic, right? It's Mars with a lot of Saturnian experience, like in the house of Saturn. They're not going to rush. They will come up with a plan. They will proceed with care and caution. They're not afraid of hard work. So once again, whatever sector of the chart is Capricorn in your chart, you will be ready to work hard. You will be willing to put in the work. And it's very precise too. So perfect placement for people who are surgeons, or if you wanted to do the surgery, I wouldn't do it right away because Mercury is still retrograde, but when Mercury stations direct on February 3rd and until Mars exits Capricorn, March 6th, is really a great time to kind of go through with any procedure that you're waiting to take care of. So some dates to note: February 4th, Mars is going to sextile Jupiter, and this is good luck for all of the things you start on that date. Support from Jupiter when it comes to new beginnings, especially if you are staying high-minded, because Jupiter in Pisces right now is asking us to be spiritual and, invest into things that benefit the collective. February 8th, Mars trines Uranus. There might be a chance to innovate and to pursue projects that are technological and future-oriented. On February 16th is a really cool aspect. I'm excited. It's our second Venus-Mars conjunction. We had one in 2021, July, and now we have one in February, and then we have another one March 6th. And it kind of like tells the story. Venus-Mars together. Venus is the charm, Mars is the ambition. You put the two together and you have the charm to go after your goals. It's easier to bring people to your side, to have people rally behind you. It's great for starting new projects, for going on a date, starting a relationship. Basically, your charisma aligns with that fighter inside of you, and you're not being too ruthless and you're not being too giving and like people pleasing. It's just like a really perfect, nice balance. On February 23rd, Mars sextiles Neptune. We might be called to pursue spiritual things, learn about astrology, do some kind of charitable work, altruistic things. And then March 3rd, Mars conjoins Pluto, and like Venus is actually in the vicinity as well at the time, even though they're not officially conjunct yet. But this is very much like, I gotta have you now energy. So, if you're into someone romantically, you might be like, just come on like really strongly, but it's likely that they're not gonna be as taken, as shocked at it, or like, as quick to reject you if Venus wasn't in the mix. So there is actually a good chance that whatever you're passionate about, you may get. But stay careful, of course, because Pluto can just overshadow things and make us too obsessive about things. Like, kind of ask yourself, is this healthy for me? And this is also a callback to December 11th and 25th when Venus conjoined Pluto, as well as January 28th and February 11th when Mercury conjoined Pluto. So if you look back at which topics came up for you, and it's all about Capricorn, right? Like it's all, so for me, I'm a Libra rising. For me, it's the house of home and family and safety and security. And so I had my roof leak and I had, there was also a sense of like someone I thought was very supportive of me turned out to not be. So there's a lot of topics there, and that was actually very clearly on like December 11th, and then it came back on the 25th. I'm recording it before January 28th, so I don't know yet, but it's something to keep in mind. Let's talk about each rising sign and see what it might mean for you. One other thing to mention is that Mars in Capricorn might still create fights in the sector of your chart ruled by Capricorn, but usually because it's the planet of fighting exalted, it means that you will not fight for things that are not worth your time, or like, you will know once again how to attack, and you will know how to defend, and you will know when to stop. It's not going to get out of control. For Aries rising, Capricorn is your 10th house, so Mars is entering your house of career, and this is a great time to pursue any professional action, to talk to your boss, to ask for a raise, to initiate a project, to look for a new job, right? Like you might be really kind of focused, like tunnel vision on work. You don't want to overdo it, right? Because like sometimes you're too focused on work and you lose track and lose sense of relationships and anything else that's happening in your life. So be careful with that, but definitely a great time for new professional initiatives. There might be issues with Mars in the 10th house with bosses or parents, or like some kind of conflicts with people in power. But I think you will be able, with that Capricornian strategic mind, you'll be able to get through it without, without killing anyone. If you are a Taurus rising, Capricorn is your 9th house. So Mars going into the 9th house will set your desire to expand your world and expand your mind on fire. You may feel a pull to travel. My Aries rising friend just went through this with Mars being in Sagittarius, and she went and it's long distance travel, so she went to Europe. Obviously, we live still in the times of the pandemic, so if you cannot travel, you can travel in your mind, and you can maybe pursue education, learn about religion, learn about philosophy. You might be questioning your place of living. It could be like a good time to pursue action, apply for a visa if you're planning to travel. And your views on the world and your beliefs might be extra strong at this time. So watch out for getting involved in debates with people about things that maybe don't really, matter as much. For Gemini risings, Mars is entering your 8th house. So with Mars in the 8th, you're likely to need to work with other people on some kind of financial undertaking. You may need to pool your resources with other people to start some kind of project, like a joint project. Make sure that you're not getting into fights with people over shared money, because that could be a possibility here. If your business partner, you don't agree with their strategy, or your spouse is spending money on something, try to come up with a solution instead of pointing fingers and being like, you're this, you're that, because ultimately you do need other people in your life and you need their support. And this might be something that you're realizing with Venus being retrograde currently in your 8th house too. Some of the positives of Mars being in the 8th is very deep mind, increased intuition, a power of understanding and perceiving subtle undercurrents. So if you needed to research anything, if you wanted to devote time to therapy, this could be a great time. But yeah, I think you may just need to deal with shared resources. Maybe you're receiving an inheritance, maybe you're applying for a loan, maybe you're moving somewhere and you need to go to the bank and manage your resources in a different way. For Cancer risings, Mars is going into your 7th house, and you can expect your romantic sector to speed up, as well as your business partnership. Venus has already been there, but Venus has been retrograde. So Venus, when it's retrograde, there may be some action, but it might be foggy and unclear. And maybe you're thinking about your exes. Maybe you're trying to figure out what kind of partner you want. Just like a lot of questioning. And I think when Mars enters this house and conjoins with Venus on February 16th, that could be like a really great time for you to go on a date and come up with like fun, exciting date ideas, something really active. There might also be just like a very dynamic love life where you get into fights with your partner and then you make up and you have passionate sex and then you fight again. Try to bring some balance into your world. And if you do have a business, this could be a great time to go after clients and pursue projects that deal with other people. For Leo risings, Mars enters your 6th house, and this is a lovely time to go to a doctor, to come up with a new workout routine, to sign up for that archery class or go rock climbing, anything like that. Like you're likely to get more energy and you're likely to get busier both in your everyday life and also at work. And to use this energy productively, you want to make sure that you're not, spreading yourself too thin. You want to make sure that you're staying focused and you're not getting into fights with colleagues. And avoid rushing places, because sometimes Mars in the 6th, once again, it's strong Mars, so I don't really worry about it too much. But if you're too quick and you're not paying attention to where you're going, there might be some kind of like paper clip, I don't know, getting stuck in your finger, like work injury type thing. For Virgo rising, Mars enters your 5th house, and you're likely to experience a desire for more fun. You're likely to take action to have more fun. So maybe you're scheduling dates, and maybe you're hanging out with friends. It might be harder to focus on things that are not fun. Great time for creative pursuits though. So like if you wanted to start a creative project, now is the perfect time. And watch out for overindulging. Watch out for, gambling and doing things that are fun but are not healthy for you. For Libra risings, Mars enters the 4th house, and 4th house is all about home and family. So you may kind of withdraw a little bit. You may choose to spend more time at home. And maybe your home life gets like really active. Maybe you're talking to your family more, you're hanging out with family members a lot more. You might be undertaking some kind of home renovation project. I am a Libra rising, and I mentioned my roof was leaking, so they're supposed to come in and fix it sometime when it gets warmer, whenever that might be. Let's hope that it's within the next month. So it's a great time to work on the home, like invest into a home, buy, sell, move, anything like that. You just get more energy to take charge of those things. As well as if you're dealing with any childhood issues, Mars can inspire you to take control and to heal that part of you that needs affection and attention. If you're a Scorpio rising, Capricorn is your 3rd house. So Mars coming into your 3rd house is likely to speed up your routine, your schedule, and watch out for driving too fast. That can be like, a tendency with Mars in the 3rd house. And it is also likely to speed up your mind. I just dealt with it with Sagittarius, Mars being in my 3rd house. So definitely like lots of ideas. So you want to make sure you're staying busy and investing yourself into something creative, into some kind of writing. This could be a great time to sell your ideas, brainstorm new ideas, to start a blog, start some kind of like, writing or technical project, podcast, anything like that. And trying to balance it, like try to add some meditation and quiet time. But it's likely that if you stay quiet and stay still for a while, you may feel anxious and frustrated. Conflicts are possible with neighbors and siblings, but because Mars is exalted, it's likely that you'll be able to overcome it. And traveling, especially like short-term travel, might be the time where, you get in your car a lot more, or you're talking to your neighbors a lot more, you're spending more time somehow getting involved in the community. Maybe you're fixing the community garden or something like that. If you do, let me know in the comments below. For Sag rising, Capricorn is the 2nd house. So Mars goes into your house of finances and values. And quite literally, Mars in the house of money, you're thinking of all the ways in which you can make more money. You're brainstorming new ideas. You're applying for a second job. You maybe are rethinking your career choices and trying to find new ways to bring a solid income. Your values may come up for review, like things that truly matter to you. And, alternatively, with Mars being in your 2nd house, you may also be spending more money, because Mars creates that sense of impulsiveness. But because it's exalted, Saturnian Mars in Capricorn, you have the power to be more thoughtful with your spendings. Great time, I would say, to organize your resources and to find new clients and new professional opportunities. For Capricorn rising, Mars goes into your 1st house, so you get an energy boost. This is likely, like the most energetic you can feel in a long time. And most planets are direct starting February 3rd, so there's like a lot of forward momentum. Maybe you're starting new projects. Maybe you feel excited about new beginnings. This could be a lovely opportunity to present your ideas to the world, or, start writing something. anything that also deals with your physical body, like if you wanted to undertake, like, you know, sign up for an exercise class or start eating healthier, that's a great possibility. You may start to get like a little bit more headaches with Mars being in your first house, and watch out for being too ego driven and too argumentative or, you know, like impulsive when it comes to things. You want to still pace yourself and direct the energy towards those creative things, like new beginnings that you want to get started. For Aqua risings, Capricorn is the 12th house, so Mars in the 12th will likely create a desire in you to retreat. And there might be a lot of action happening behind the scenes. Like, you know, maybe you're working on something on your own. You will actually enjoy working on your own, and something that other people have no idea about. Your dreams may become louder and more colorful. Your imagination is likely to increase, as well as your intuition. So creatively, this could be a lovely time, as well as a great time to get away and to go on a trip, or to dedicate time to yoga. And I would definitely try to add some kind of fitness activity or long walks, you know, meditation to your routine, because Mars in the 12th house can sometimes create issue sleeping because your dreams are super colorful. So you want to make sure you're balancing it out. For Pisces rising, Mars is entering your 11th house, and this is the time to check in with your goals and your aspirations and things that you're pursuing. You may get new ideas. Obviously, you know, Venus has been retrograde in your 11th house for a while, just making you question what is it that you want to pursue. So with Mars in the 11th, you are coming up with new ideas, and you're also really encouraged to work with a group of people, because it's almost like you cannot reach what you're trying to reach without the support of other people. Watch out for the tendency to focus on others too much, because sometimes that's like a thing, like, you know, you're thinking about others too much. Maybe they annoy you, maybe they help you. Regardless, you want to have a healthy balance. This is also a great time for any kind of humanitarian work, for getting the group interested in something. You're likely to desire to be the leader of the group versus to, you know, follow someone else's orders. But as long as you choose people that have the same goals in mind, it will be easier to find success. So enjoy this transit. I personally am excited about it. Mars in Sagittarius wasn't the best thing because it was like opposing my moon and squaring all of my Virgo planets. So I'm ready. I'm ready for it to move into Capricorn. I hope you agree with me, and I hope you are as excited. Talk soon. Bye.